Good. It's nighttime right now, but whatever time you're watching this. So I've been feeling like doing live today because I have a few things on my mind that I wanted to just talk about real quick. So one thing that has been a recurring thought has been social hierarchy. How people treat others based off of their title, their occupation. I've seen somebody treat the person who works at the laundromat nasty, absolutely nasty. And it's not that the person who works at the laundromat, who's a custodian, who's a trash truck driver, who is a cashier or a waitress or a delivery agent, it doesn't matter. Or somebody who's starting a business, a startup company, doesn't really make much money. Some people look at people who are self-employed as people who are lazy and they don't want to actually do real work. Some people think that. And it's not that these people are lower in nature or in behavior or in thinking. It doesn't mean that these people don't know anything. It just means they uphold a low paid job in society. In the societal whole, they uphold a low paid job. And people treat you based off of how much money you make, which is very, in my opinion, very shallow way of thinking and behaving. How you treat people is more of a reflection of who you are instead of who they are. And I had risen this question, or not really a question, more like a concern to somebody who is big on leveling up and shifting your mindset and whatnot. And they had said that, it is what basically it is what it is. I'm paraphrasing, but it is what it is. This is how society functions. The lowest paid jobs get treated like they are low in nature. People tend not to respect custodians. People tend not to respect gas attendants, bus drivers or bus operators, or um, room service in hotels, or whatever the case may be, trash truck driver. People tend not to respect these people. But as the person who is going through the disrespect, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you defend yourself, where you set boundaries, where you have steps and you defend yourself and you assert yourself. Don't talk to me like that. And where you protect your worth, or where you speak up for yourself. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you set boundaries because you might lose your job. The key is to level up. But there has to be people who uphold these positions, because without trash truck drivers, what's gonna happen to the trash? What I'm gonna take my trash to the dump myself. Without room service, what I'm gonna turn my bed on myself. I'm on vacation. I don't want to do housework. If there was no waitress, well, I'm supposed to go to the kitchen myself. Without a custodian, what the hospital's just supposed to smell? The toilet's just supposed to smell? Is like, without plumbers, like, was nothing gonna get done around her on this planet Earth? There was a time where men who wore suit and ties and worked in corporate got called gentlemen, even though their demeanor, their how they behave is not gentleman like. Because of their occupation, because of their title, they were considered gentlemen. Is it best to play dumb and allow people to walk all over you until you level up, until you get out of that situation? How will you? Some jobs don't pay that much. How will you even work to and budget and manage your money in a way where you can afford to leave that job? Some people cling on to a job because they feel like, okay, I need this job to survive. I need this job to get by. I can't speak to my boss like this. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. That's my fault, even though it wasn't. They can be unreasonable. They're just dumping the feelings of insignificance on you. They feel insignificant, so they're gonna make you feel as low as them. But you can't say anything because your job could be in jeopardy if you set boundaries or have standards or show that you are a child of God and you have power and you have will and you are in God's grace. You can't show people this while you're on job. You gotta be a slave to the man, to the woman. Doesn't matter if your job feels degrading, you have to endure it. You have to accept that this is the way it is and you have to tolerate it. Is that the mindset that you want to go about? They just gonna allow people to talk to you any way they want because you don't want to jeopardize your position at work at a low paid job? Or let's take away the title, you are a human being. I have motion outside this job. My name is well known in heaven. And I'm just gonna allow myself to be walked all over so that they feel comfortable in their own demonic skin, so that they continue the hellish ways. It's like you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. How do you go about these matters, these moments in time where somebody feels the need to put you in your place because, oh, you're pumping gas, so you can't have an opinion? Oh, you're delivering food, so I don't have to talk to you with respect. Oh, you're just a waiter. Your feelings don't matter. Your mental health doesn't matter. You're just a bartender. Why would I care how your day is being? Just serve me, peasant. See, this is the issue when peasants receive treatment of a king or queen. These are luxuries. These are pleasantries to be served, for things to be at your convenience, at your beck and call. Whether you deserve it or not, you're being served as if you are deserving of my service. Over in queenship, over her own queenship, we only deal with people who are beautiful on the inside and out. But if you work a job, you have to deal with everybody who comes your way, the clients that If your boss, if boss happens to be, I'm not in position to be, I'm not sure if we're back. I'm not in position to have standards, boundaries. I'm not in position to ask to be respected. Because I need you, I am at your service, regardless of mistreatment. They don't care your feelings. They don't care if you resent them for how they treat you. They will only care once you level up. If you're in a better position than them, they will feel sorry that they ever disrespected you, that they ever insulted you or called you out your name. They will feel sorry. This is the beauty standard. How to remain beautiful in an ugly world. The more and more one may allow others, when you are highly esteemed, when you have high self-esteem, and you happen to work in a low-paid job for whatever reason, circumstances, nobody truly knows other people's stories. No matter how you got there, how to uphold your beauty standard is playing dumb, playing smart, because you're just there to get your money, honey. What I'm worrying about you for? At the end of the day, I go back to count my money. Allocate my cash. strategize financially. You don't know what I'm doing behind closed doors. With a corrupt mind, I'm pretty sure you can think of a lot of ill things that I could be doing. Not to say we are driven by money over her. Worrying about haters. Once that moment is over, it's over. If you feed into confrontation, that energy may stay in your relationship at that job, may stay in your position at that job. Even if you was right to say what you said, now you can't take it back. That's out there. And depending on who's in your environment, those people might actively work to get you fired, get you out that job. You said you need that job, don't you? Position yourself first. Now, in some cases, you have to leave. You have to get out there for your mental, emotional, and spiritual sake. For your own well-being, you have to leave, regardless of your financial standing. Sometimes that is the case, and if it is truly the case, and you refuse to leave, God will remove you them thyself. The job will go bankrupt. Somebody will get sued or something. Something sporadic will just happen because you're not supposed to be there, or God will sit you down. Some way, somehow, God will remove you because you're not supposed to be there. But if you God knows that you need to get your money. God knows everything. God is the master planner. If you need to stay there, you need to learn a lesson. You need to get your money up. You need to position yourself. God will keep you there, but you have to position yourself to eventually get out of there, or start applying for jobs, a different job, somewhere where you don't feel, or where you're not being treated lesser than you actually are. If you're out here doing God's work, know that you are valuable in the eyes of God. Know you are somebody of value. You are golden in the eyes of God. You stay prayed up. Something bad happens. Ask for God to give you strength. Ask for God to give you patience. Ask for God to give you mercy. Thank the Lord. Thank God for the position. Thank God for putting you in that position so that you can feed yourself, so you can feed your kids, so you can pay the bills, so you have a roof over your head. I find myself feeling better when I help others and I do good for others, make somebody laugh, or I make somebody to others pays you in full plus interest. The hardest thing to do is to be kind, especially if you're being disrespected. No mistake is worth being disrespected. If you don't understand, if you're finding your legs, or you're very forgetful, there are some things that you can't get around, like forgetfulness. It may be hereditary or whatever the case may be. Some things you can't get around if you have tics or you have spasms or whatever the case. You have a lisp or you're learning a new language and people can't understand what you're saying. No matter what it is, nothing is deserving of somebody insulting you, insulting your intelligence, speaking bad on your name, calling you out of your name, being disgusting and disrespectful. Nothing is worth that. No mistake is worth that. I technically don't want to pray for disgusting people who are dirty at heart, people who are spiritually tainted, whose spirits are Jezebel spirits, jealous spirits. There's negative spirits, hateful spirit, sabotaging, monitoring spirit. I technically don't like praying for them. I know I probably should, but I feel like if I pray for them and I know how powerful my word is, then the karma may be transferred to me. I feel like that's true. If they're meant to receive karma, if they're meant to receive the karma, I'm not blessing. Well, sometimes I do. I say bless their soul, maybe. Or actually no. I don't know if I've done that lately. I think I used to. I say if I really have hate, well, not hate. I have no hate in my heart for anybody. But if I truly don't like the ways, the demeanor, how they speak, if I think they're a nasty spirit, if I had an actual friendship or some type of relation with them, I actually know this was a few years ago. Now I'm like, they know not what they do. They know not what they do. They don't know why they are the way they are. Years ago, I used to be like, I pray that they get what they deserve. But then that may weigh on me because in my heart are the worst. So know what they do. That takes a lot off of me. I don't like praying for anything that puts a lot on me. Because wishing harm on somebody's gonna come back to you. And the internet connection's been in and out, so I'm hoping the important stuff, what is meant to be said would be heard. What's meant to be heard will be heard. What's meant to be said will be said. It does feel like you're disrespecting yourself if you allow things to slide. But what good will it do if you stoop to the level, if you visit them and how? What good will that do? I feel like, God has lessons and tests and trials and tribulations, and I feel like the devil does too. And if you stoop to the level, you're at the level. Not with one decision or one mistake, and hopefully you can catch yourself and then return back to the light, return back to God, return back to God's grace, not allow yourself to slip too often. Sometimes it's like it feels like the dark is trying to protect the light, and then the light is trying to stay the light, and it's like, no, don't say nothing. And the dog's like, but they're disrespecting you. You don't want that to continue. You have to cut it where it started. You gotta cut it. And my tongue could be sharp at times. If I say something, because my words matter, because my words hold so much weight, because I stay as close to the truth and honesty as possible, my words hold weight. If I say something to you, I will hurt you. You may ponder on it. It may change your perspective on yourself, about yourself. Sometimes, in narcissism, uh, bad fuel is still fuel. So if you stoop to the level, you're gonna keep having to feed that fire. So it's never good to feed a narcissist, because it's like they are the devil themselves. And a demon works for the devil. I had a vision about this the other day, where the devil has more power than a demon. A demon is a spirit, and the devil is who you are, personality, character, how you think, how you move. And a demon is not a leader. The devil is. The devil is the leader of the demonic pack. The devil has children too. The devil has followers too. But the devil will never be more powerful, or at, the devil will never be God's equal, ever. Two rules: love God, love yourself, or love your neighbor as you love yourself. But it always comes back to loving yourself, in order to show grace to others. When you're compassionate to yourself, you're compassionate to others. This is why being disrespected hurts so much, because you will never, even in my worst days, my lowest of moments, I would never. Maybe it's accepting that we have to share the world with people who have demonic spirits, and people who are the devil in the flesh. You can't change these individuals. You may have to change your perspective, change how you look at the situation, adjust how you respond, or maybe not the response, because the response is a byproduct of perspective. No matter where you are in life, you will always be doing God's work. And sometimes the devil or a demon may walk into your store, may try to test your patience, to try and bring you over to the side, because they're forever recruiting. How strong are you in your faith? How strong is your faith? Maybe it's a matter of asking God what what to do. What can I do while I am just visiting the lower. I don't even like to call it the lower, or the working. Although I'm just visiting the working class, which is deemed the lowest level of the social hierarchy, man's hierarchy. What can I do about these devils and demons who come in trying to test me? How should I respond? I do have a Bible here. Or did say, I made you hard headed. I made you more hard headed than them. The saints should collect and publish an account of their sufferings and persecutions. The same spirit that established, and I just randomly flipped to a page. This is Mormon, Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, Pearl of the Great Price. The same spirit that established the false creeds also leads to persecution of the saints. Many among all sects will yet receive the truth. And again, we would suggest, when does this turn into Bible study? When I would just, some say pick up the Bible. some say read the word. The answer is in the word. And again, we would suggest for your consideration the propriety of all the saints gathering up a knowledge of all the facts and sufferings and abuses, but upon them by the people of this state, and also of all the property and amount of damages which they have sustained, both of character and personal injuries, as well as real property, and also the names of all persons that have had a hand in their oppressions, as far as they can get hold of them and find them out. And perhaps a committee can be appointed to find out these things and to be statements and affidavits, and also to gather up the, pardon me, libros, liblios, new word, pardon me, publications that are afloat, and all that are in the magazines and in the encyclopedias and all the liblos. It looks like library. Containing or constituting a libel or a published false statement that is damaging to a person's reputation. a written defamation. Hey, I was saying defamation of character the other day or yesterday. It's not a defamation of character if it's true. But how is it pronounced? I don't like saying things wrong. Libelous. Libelous. Histories that are published and are written and by whom and present the whole concentration of diabolical, I'm sorry, recility and nefarious and murderous impositions that have been practiced upon this people, that we may not only publish to all the world, but present them to the heads of government in all their dark and hellish hue, as the last effort which is enjoined on us by our Heavenly Father, before we can fully and completely claim that promise which shall call him forth from his hiding. Oh, I'm sorry, because they like to hide behind the computer. They like to hide behind phones. They like to hide in the dark, hide in place. And also that the whole nation may be left without excuse, because he can send forth the power of his mighty arm. I just flipped to a random page and I didn't even get what page it was, but it was everything that I needed to hear. They will get theirs, and you will get yours. Not to be passive and allow, because that sounded like they was taking action. These are the people who did you wrong. Write their names down. Take accounts of who these people are, and they will get dealt with accordingly in due time, in divine time, and they will get dealt with. Don't you worry yourself. Just stack your paper, get your bag, and do right always. Do right by yourself, set your boundaries, and stand firm in your boundaries. Don't waver your standards. And do mind you that I am going through my own thoughts and feelings about what's going on in my life. And to notice that the people who are ugly. The people who are beautiful are beautiful. And we only deal with those who are beautiful on the inside and out. Doesn't matter if you are beautiful on the outside. If you are ugly on the inside, you are ugly. If I don't know what you look like and you're just type on your computer, or you're talking to me over the phone and I never met you, you sound ugly, you're using ugly words, you have, ugly is a language. You're using ugly language. I could tell that you're ugly. I could tell that you also believe or know that you're ugly. Because beautiful people don't treat others ugly. Beautiful people don't treat others with disrespect. They don't call you out of your name. They don't make you feel ugly. They make you feel beautiful. Beautiful people will always uplift you regardless of how they feel about themselves. Today I feel low. I'm going to lift other people up because that makes me feel better. An ugly person will always bring you down so that you. They want you to feel ugly so that they feel better in the skin. They want to feel beautiful, so they have to make you feel they have to make you feel ugly. They don't feel beautiful in their own skin, so they have to make you feel ugly. Just know, ugly people have no choice but to behave like themselves. Behave as they are. If somebody is showing you that they're ugly, believe them. One mistake that a beautiful person may make is trying to make a beautiful picture out of an ugly heart. The mistake that a beautiful person may make is trying to paint a beautiful picture with an ugly heart. This person shows you time and time again that they're ugly, but you keep making excuses for them. You keep defending them because you're looking at others through your own lens as you are. This is how you would respond. This is how you would behave. This is how you would communicate if you was in the same shoes as the person who is talking to you. This is what you would do. They are not you, unfortunately. They are not beautiful. What is your beauty standard? What would you do if somebody tries to disrespect you, put you in your place just because you work at McDonald's? You work at Burger King. You have to wear a costume to work. You work at a Six Flags. You know your worth. Don't let people treat you like dirt. People will only see you how they are. People will only see you through their lens. And to an ugly person, everything's ugly. A beautiful thing is ugly. They will make an ugly situation out of a beautiful thing because that's who they are. And we have to share a world with ugly people. Who are ugly in spirit. Let God deal with them. Say their name, say their deeds, the deeds that they have done, and let God do the rest. Stay prayed up. And get into your word.